Good afternoon, everyone. I've taken a little bit of time off for many reasons. One, to enjoy the last little bit of the summer, and just I was feeling a little down. I ripped my craft room apart. I think that's what's got me, because I created myself such a mess, and I feel like I can't get it cleaned up. But that's okay. It will. It's because I'm not only did I just not move it, I purging and going through things. So, but that's fine. It needs it. It needs to be done. But my filming desk was covered in stuff, and so I just kept putting it off. But I'm back, and I thought I'd also wait till back to school because the house was busy. Jacob being home from school, his mother was here all the time. Just noise in general. It wasn't quiet. So, but I'm back. And yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday when I went on my YouTube, I haven't been watching much YouTube creators for junk journaling because I keep getting new ideas and I've got to finish some projects up and finish some orders up. So I haven't been watching YouTube because sometimes when I see something new, I want to stop everything I'm doing and doing it. Well, I did that yesterday because I knew I needed something not only for here, but for my junk journal craft and chat. This is going to be a challenge I'm doing. It's actually, I was supposed to start the challenge on Monday, but forgetting that it was a day off and da-da-da-da. So I'm going to start officially on, this will be Monday's challenge, going up in that group. And basically, this is from Roxy's creation, Roxy, and it's just, I will link it there. It's called Roxy's Weekly Challenge. This is like week 34 of hers. It's book page journal cards with a tuck. And I did variations to it as well. But, so I was just watching it because I was really out of it and just drinking a tea, and I loved some of the ideas. So I did a few, and then I did ones without tuck spots, but I'll kind of go through what I did. So this was the first one I did, and it's a book page, and basically now she uses her videos for small ones, but I ended up pulling out a larger one by mistake while it was sitting on my desk. That's why. So it's okay because I know where exactly I'm going to put this. I'm actually going to put it as a page in my journal. Tell you, I turned on the video. I was just debating whether I wanted to film or go lay on my couch. So yes, I am yawning. Jacob's been getting up at night. The school had told him that next year there will be a new school. And so he's having a little bit of anxiety over it. So he's not sleeping at night. And because so I get up with him. Well, he only wants me anyways. So I've been going upstairs and sitting with him till he falls back to sleep. And with the heat, I don't have air conditioning down here, so I'm just not sleeping. I'm not a good sleeper as it is. So I took this piece of digital that I had that I love, and I put it on here, and I created a pocket. But what I did is, you'll see this is where the book page ends, kind of created a tab. And what I'm going to just do, I didn't use my corner rounder for these. I just kind of cut off the tip, just a small part of the tip, to make it look more like a tab. And I'll just ink it. I forgot to do that on this one. Well, that was when I first one I did, right? So, and then I had these. I have a basket of little things that either I get from Graphics Fairy, or I have a bunch of Paris ones, and I keep I don't put these really in to my fussy cuts in my file folder because I pull this basket out quite often for collaging and that. I do the other ones, but just for some reason this particular basket is this way. So I took the page, of course, and it was long, but so I flipped it over and glued it down, and then left it up a little bit higher so it created a tab as well, and a pocket. I put this image on and I put that there just to add a little more to the pocket. Now, a lot of this is meant to be like journal cards with a pocket and things like that. Like you slide this in a pocket. You could paper clip this on. Me, I'm going to turn this into a page because I have a 3-ring journal I'm working on. This will be perfect in there. And then I took another book page that had more of a blank, and there was a little bit of writing under here. I think it had, I can't even read it. I thought I could read it, but it had a little bit of writing, but it was mainly things. So it creates a writing spot. I put an image on, which is still not wanting to glue down. This one corner just doesn't want to stay down. And basically they have a writing spot. And just slides in there. You could put a tag in there if you wanted to. And then also it has another writing spot here. Okay. We're going to do it. We're going to do some. Then I did this one. And basically I took the page. I just took the paper, but instead of putting a tab, I didn't feel like doing it on this one. Folded it right over. I might still put a tab on it. I'm not sure yet. I haven't finally made that up. I put some washi tape because this edge was very fragile. It's a very old book page, so I need it to, so that it doesn't tear. Originally, this was supposed to go in there. I hope I'm not making everybody yawn. It's crazy. It happens every time. I say it over and over. And I just made a writing spot. This had writing on one side and a little bit of writing on this side. So when I folded it over, I just put an image, some washi tape. This is kind of a sticker thing I ordered from, or I think this was gifted to me. Yes, this was gifted to me. So I just cut it in half and made my tab and rounded the corners. And originally I thought it was going in here, but I made it the wrong way. So that was okay. It's a piece I have to create somewhere else. So then I just threw this together. I had this paper here, and I put, again, I got this as a gift. And so I took one of those and I put it on to the paper, took that same paper, made a tab, and then just did a little collaging. And I left the back the way it is, and you can write right on it and just slide it in there. So again, this can slide into a pocket. If you wanted to and you didn't want to cover the back, you could have glued it in and made another one. But I put it as in a tuck spot, or it can be paper clipped to the top. Part of the reason I debate it, because if I put it in a journal, I might end up paper clipping it, and then I'm going to do a bow on the top of the paper clip so that it sits out at the top. So that's kind of why I didn't do anything to the top yet. And then again, I just folded it right over, took a piece of paper and made some more writing space. So there's lots of writing here and there, so. But it could act as a journal card. Now this one I made into a journal card. This was the book page. This is the front cover. And I liked it, so I didn't do much but add some washi tape to it. And as you can see, I might have to put a little washi tape on this side as well. It's a very fragile piece. But the problem is, maybe I'll just put a little bit of the music. And with this, I always put glue on mine, just to make sure that it lasts. Because sometimes washi tape has a habit, and I'm not gonna put it too. I'm not gonna put it all the way up. I'm just gonna put it there just to help a little bit. And then I just put a background paper, an image, and I made a little cluster. And that is like a journal card using a book page. And you can put it either way. Well, it doesn't really have any writing spots. I should have maybe put a writing spot. Well, I wasn't thinking. It's a pretty page in the journal. I didn't think when I did that one. I wasn't thinking, I guess. And then this one I was working on just earlier. And I haven't quite finished it. So this is the book page. This was a scrap and I put it on. And then I have this. And I took a piece of strip of paper. I made it a little bit longer and created a tab. And then on this side, of course, I just put a little, and then I had this, which was actually a large tag, but I cut off the top, and I'm going to turn it into a journal card inside there. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna actually end up putting this most likely on another book page like this, and then I'll put writing on the back, or a larger one also can be used if you want to leave some of the writing. It all depends on how you want to do it. I'm not going to finish that now, but that I'm going to make a journal card and it'll be perfect. And I have this Paris journal actually complete. I just got to get its tie for the front, and I'm going to be raffling it off in my group, Purple Hearts Creation. And I actually made that to go in here somewhere, but I just don't know where. I think it's too wide for that. Yep. It might be too wide for this. Let me see. I think I put an extra paper clip in here somewhere just because I want, nope, I put that there. I thought I did, but I didn't. I thought I did. I thought it would go in here perfectly somewhere. I might put it here. But I think it's too big even for this one. I thought I had the perfect pocket for it, but I don't. Oh, and this is too narrow. It won't hold it. It's too big. So that didn't work. I made it a little too big, but don't worry. I'll use it in something. That's not a problem. So I just have to finish the journal card on that one. And then I'm lucky because I have Graphic Fairy. And they have, like, this is supposed to be a pocket, and this is supposed to be, I guess, when you fold it over. I don't know how they want it to go. I didn't read the instructions because I decided to do something else with it. I'm just going to balance this off. And now, not everybody has access to that. So I'm not going to do the full thing, but just in case you have something like this, I'm thinking of taking the journal card and putting pockets on each side. Now, this, I was thinking maybe I'll just glue here and do an image and then have the pocket. So that's, like, I was thinking of ways of playing with it. If you have a little paper, like a tiny one, again, you know, I was just thinking something like along that line. So again, if I move this to the bottom, this could be a tuck spot. So it's an idea I have. I'm not going to finish that. It's just something that was floating around in my head. So let's get started here. I have a bunch of, you see I have, it's just because I had these all pulled out, but I have a lot of little ones here. So I've got my book pages. Let's do a small one. And like, you're going to probably look and say, oh, this is really thin, but by the time you put your layers on it, it will be sturdy enough. So in this case, this supposed to sit, we'll just sit that there. Let me pull some of these papers out. I'm seeing what I have in scraps already. Some of them I already have duplicated. Now I could go ahead, let me just trim this like this for now. We'll see if I use this. I'm just trimming it up. This is from a collage page, and unfortunately I'm just trying to get it as straight as possible. I was thinking it's a little wide, but I could almost put it on there and make a pocket this way, which what I might end up doing. Sometimes you're losing the page, but that's okay. It's all up to you. If you want, like, I could even take and not even do all of that. I can do this. Let's try this. So basically I'm kind of doing these with you. So those that are my Junk Journal Craft and Chat, when you watch this week for the challenge, you know, you don't have to do them exactly the same way as me, or I'll actually link Roxy's down below. You might want to watch Roxy because she does more. I didn't do everything because I know I never have enough time on camera. So you could do that and leave some of the book page so you can see it, and you can turn it into a tuck spot. Now, some people might like the image this way. It doesn't bother me like that, I don't think. I'm not sure if it does. I'm not sure if it does or not now that I put it there. Now that I probably convinced myself. Let's see what I have here. This green has really got some cool colors in it. Ooh, that would look nice on. Yeah, but I really like it, but we'll come back to that after. That's a large one. I'm distracting myself. I could do something like that. Yeah, I could do that. Like today I'm doing the video. I have after tonight, all I'm going to be doing is fussy cutting and getting my orders ready. I haven't been able to go to the mailbox because my friend that takes me to the mail was on holidays. So I didn't have any ride there. Just double checking, making sure there's nothing in here I might want to go with. Nope. Problem with me, I have those type of things. That's my problem, and they're everywhere, and I need to reorganize, and that's what I'm trying to do, and move things where I can get the best of my workspace out, what I use a lot of. I bought some containers to put stuff in. I'm redoing my biggest job. I'm going to probably do it in next week. I might take one day. Well, probably going to take me several days to do it, but I think I'm going to turn one of my rolling carts into a lace cart. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm thinking I'll do that. So I'm working with different, and then other laces I might put in a plastic drawer, ones that I don't use as often type thing. So I'm just going to go ahead. And so I'm turning this into a pocket. So you can, if you want it just as a journal card, you don't have to, you could glue it right down. I like adding that additional little writing spot within the pocket. My glue got hard on the top even though it had a lid. So let's get that off. Oh, that's my newer one. I'm trying to use up my old one first. That's right. I'm trying to use up, because I've got so many half bottles, and so I'm trying to take one bottle and use it up. If you want to simplify it, you don't have to do a pocket. You can collage if you want, and then make one side, unlike me who didn't think about it, and maybe, I mean, it can still, oof, phew. I did that a couple times now where I glued the wrong side. So I'm just going to create a pocket, and like you can add more to this. Again, you can pull out, I don't think I have a lot of words in here. I have some because I just bought a new digital, and it has all kinds of, it's a Paris one, because I wanted something to finish up. But then I could put a number at the bottom to add to it. I could put some lace if I wanted to. I didn't pull out any lace. I was trying to make them more simple, because sometimes for me pulling out lace, could even add something like that to it if I wanted to, but I think I like a lettering. Yeah, go back to that one I had at the beginning, and now I won't be able to find it because that's just the way I roll sometimes. I have that one too. Let's do that one. Oh, it's too orangey, I think. Too peachy. Not orangey, well, peachy and orange are similar. But I have a lot of butterflies to cut out in the next couple days to get all the orders out. I'm trying to do a lot tonight And the people that ordered first get theirs all in the mail tomorrow. So tonight and tomorrow, all I'm going to be doing all day is fussy cutting, fussy cutting. I've got a couple, but you know what I did? My brain just isn't working. And I printed all my butterflies. Now, normally when I do my bundles up, which is what I sell on my site, fussy cut bundles ready for you to use, I do it on regular paper. And if you want cardstock, then I charge a little bit more for the cardstock, and I can do them in cardstock. Well, I didn't think, and I printed them all off. And then as I fussy cut it 2 whole orders up, I then clicked in my brain, oh, these were supposed to be done on cardstock. So after I finish this, I have dinner to cook. It's going to be something simple tonight. Grocery shopping is tomorrow, and I know it's tomorrow because I didn't have any vegetables to cook. I am starting a different healthy eating program. And again, I made this one. It's not going to go in here, but even something like that could tuck in there too, with a lot of writing space if you want. What I'm going to do with this, because this paper is so fragile and I'm not worried about seeing a lot of it, I'm going to add the paper bag to the back, because the paper bag was sitting right there. And I'm leaving it rough like that. I'm not evening it up. I'm leaving the scalped. I'm leaving the page exactly the way it is. And that this is nice and durable, so that'll also help. And then I've created a writing spot. And it's a journal card, and then I just need a tab on it, and then something to go on the inside. Right now I may not put something on the inside, in the pocket. You guys all know what you can put in pockets. That way I can make some more of these up and show you different ways to do things. Created a writing space, and like even this, I'm not liking how fragile that is there. But that's when you get something decorative. Let's pull one of these out. Let's go with this one. Nice, easy one. These are stickers, and I believe these ones were given to me by Catherine. I think they were the ones that came in Catherine's order. I'm pretty sure. And then I'm just going to put that there. And just add a little something to the back of that. And this needs... Now, this you could leave it rough if you wanted to. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to put some glue on there. Glue it down. There we go. Then I'm just going to ink that up. I always miss corners, guys. I always have to redo corners all the time. Just something I do. There. And there you have a journal card that can be tucked into a pocket. Do I have something handy that I can... Only journal I got kind of handy is the one I'm going to finish up this weekend. So let's see, where's my pockets in here? So that's a pocket. So what you can do is you can stick it in the pocket, and it also have its tab, so you have something else there. You could take this if you want it to look more like a journal card, which I'm going to do. I'm going to cord around it. And then when I have to finish it, of course, and it's not going in this one, but then it can be just tucked into a pocket. I'm hoping this is in focus. I moved my desk, and I had to change the arm, and so it can be tucked into any type of pocket. Like I said, you could paper clip it in as well. So this is the book I'm saying that I might end up. I got to just reinforce that, and it might become a pocket, another page in here. That's sorry, not that one. This one. And it can only go this way, so it would go in like that. So, and I just seen when I lifted that it needs a little more glue there. And then it might just pop into the book like this, and then when it turns over, so that might end up what that happens with that. So that's what you can do with that journal card, and you can add more to it. I made that one very simple, and again, this is where you could, if you had some and I don't. Because I moved it, I don't know where to put it, so I don't have my ready. That's what I'm trying to do. I've got to redo my space, but I got some tags here. Let's see what I have ready here close to me that kind of would go with it. It's too dark of a pink. This could kind of go with it. Is it too big? It might be too big. It's a little big. And in this case, it should be more of a journal card because unless I don't put a tab on it, I need a small one. Then I think this is too small. But then you just slide something in there. To me, I'm going to make a journal card, but I don't think I have any journal cards in here. I think they're all tags that I worked on this week. Yeah, I don't have a journal card handy. Sometimes I don't make journal cards up ahead of time, and I got to do some mass making of that. Ooh, this heat is really getting to me. And I turned off my fan so we wouldn't have the buzzing. And now I'm feeling the heat again. So there you go. Other than I haven't put what I want here. That's the only thing I have to finish on that. Okay. So we'll put that aside. Let's grab another book page. Where did I put the book pages? Let's grab this one. And this is, I am going to make into a journal card. So I might have to take, because I'm just trying to think of size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim a little off each side. Just so that it's not really big. But I like big journal cards. Sometimes I like a big journal card and then a tag in front. And it just kind of fills up a pocket. And I didn't cut that very straight. I always get a bump in the middle of it. So then I end up trying to get rid of the bump. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's just not, I just keep noticing it, how irregular it is. And I can't use my trimmer because I need a blade for my trimmer. I should order that when I get off this video. And I'm going to take a bit off the top. I think I'll take that much off the top. Just so that, and I'm not taking a lot because I want more writing spot there. So I'm going to just quarter around this. Oh, I don't think I'm putting any paper all the way. So I'm going to make, now you can, if you don't, I mean, you don't have to, I'll make just a plain journal card here. Just seeing something that I might start that off with. I might just collage a little bit. And in this case, I might, like, if I'm collaging it, I might corner around it here. I'm not going to fully put it on the edge. I kind of want some of that. And I'm going to, like, I'm not going to cover the whole thing because I want some of the book page kind of to show at the same time. So I'm going to do a little bit different things to it. I'm seeing what I have in paper close by. What if I put some of this? I get a garbage bag downstairs and get things in the garbage. Did I bring my tear ruler? I keep mentioning that ruler is pretty close. I think I'm gonna, oops. Don't do it upside down because then it doesn't tear really well. Just went all the way down for it. Just want to see whereabouts. I'm eyeballing where I want to tear it. Try to keep it up where you can see, because the problem is, like, if I look at my phone, everything is in, right? But when you go to upload it to YouTube, I think your screen becomes smaller. And I'm not the only one that has that problem. I find that happens quite a bit. So you got to kind of keep moving your things up and down. And sometimes when you get creating something, you forget to do that. Now sometimes collaging comes really easy for me. Sometimes it takes a lot of thinking. I have my good moments, my bad moments with collaging, and I have this thing about mixing too many patterns, and that's a thing I've always had. When I was younger, I would only wear 2 colors, so my socks, my pants, my top, all had to match. And it had to be 2 colors. So if I was wearing blue jeans and just say a pink top, then most of the time my socks were pink. I went through a real pink stage in grade 7, 8, and beginning of high school. Okay. And I tell myself sometimes, don't overthink it, just do it. That's what I was telling myself. It's just fine. It's just fine. Sometimes when you start adding all the other little pieces to it, that it starts to flow more together. And I'm not covering everything up, like I said. The only thing I might do here is put an image, but not that image. I'm just going into here to see, going down to my little images. Some of these are just, they're made that way. I think I'll go with that. There we go. Forgot to bring my glue book over. The problem right now is the humidity in the air. It's just yucky. I got to cook dinner today. I didn't take anything out of the freezer. I didn't feel like hamburger meat. I have a hard time sometimes. Right now I'm trying to eat different, which means I'm not doing a lot of carbs. So I'm thinking hamburger meat. Oh, I'll do spaghetti. Nope, I'm not having pasta. Well, then I have to figure out something else that I can make for me. Okay, there we go. Plain and simple. It's just a collage. I just did a basic collage on the book page. Is all I did. And I'm going to still add a tab to it. And here, of course, you've got lots of writing spot, but you might want to do, you could take a scrap. Do I still have that paper scrap really easy to get to? I had a funny shaped paper scrap. Did I throw it? Oh, that image I just found. Yeah, I guess I didn't. I thought I tore something earlier, and one thing that wasn't in its right place. And you can see I have paper bags, and as I was playing. So these are some of the bundles I have in my shop. It's Fussy Cut bundles, and they're by color, and I have a buy 2 get 1 free event happening, and that's in my store. And here are some of the butterfly Fussy Cuts. There's the pink. Of course the other colors aren't there, because that would have made it too easy. Just because I'm looking for those scraps that I should just have not worried about, but I found them now. Oh, and it fell. And so I have the pink and purple. I have the other ones on the other side of the room. I have yellow, and I can make any color up. And then I have butterflies and pink, purple, green, blue, yellow, and then I didn't do them all the colors because it's just a lot of fussy cutting if they don't sell. So if there's a color you want, you let me know and I'll make them up. I haven't done orange yet, brown, black and white. So that's the bundles I have, buy two, get one free. And then I do this flower ones again. Right now I have pink, purple, red, and yellow. But again, it's all, and again, they're all, things are falling everywhere. I'm in a state of a mess because I'm doing 3 different projects. And so everything keeps getting messy. So I was thinking, oh, I could take a scrap like this and just put it to the top and just continue, right? Right? You could do that and then it could be writing down. Guys, I hate to tell you this. I'm hoping the fan won't make too much noise, but I really do need to put the fan on. My apologies, guys. I'm having a bit of a hot flash too at the same time. I won't put it on high. I'll just put it on low just to circulate the air a little bit for me. My apologies if you hear it. I'm just getting too hot, so my apologies. Hopefully it doesn't or I don't know if I can find one easy enough, but let's see if I can. This is how I keep some of my fussy cuts. So there's my butterflies. This is a particular creator I buy, a digital creator, and she does them by color. And she has birds, butterflies, and flowers on one. So I put hers separate and I did her colors different so they stand out. So there's my butterflies, Shabby Doodah. And sometimes I put the names so that when I run low, I can go back and look. But this isn't, I haven't finished because I realized that I'm going to like end up having 2 of these, and I'm going to have like butterflies and flowers and birds, and I want to label them so that all the butterflies are here, all the birds are here, da 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 da. I just haven't, I got so much organizing and I just don't get to it. Oh, maybe these ones will work. And like labels and things like that, so that labels are like frames. So that's what I'm going to try to pull out here, is a frame, a big frame if I have one big enough. But it doesn't have to cover the whole thing if you don't like, but I don't want to do, I did pink, so why am I pulling out blue? Because I was in a blue spot yesterday and I did a lot of blue. It's too close to the same color, but it's the only ones I have in big. But I'm kind of don't mind that so much. I don't mind because I like the way that is shaped. And you're going to ask me who these are right now, and I don't know. Oh, yes, they are Digital Fables. And it's her vintage frame labels. I love them. I use them quite often in different ways. I'm going to put a label because you could date it if you're putting information, or you can continue writing. I'm just, you know, or you can, it could be more decorative if you wanted it to be. I went to yawning to hiccups. Again, because I'm doing basically I'm kind of doing keto, but I don't do keto to the extreme. So today I had, took 3 eggs, threw them in a bowl, put a little milk in it. I want to say it's an omelet, but I don't do omelets because I can't make an omelet flip nicely. So it ends up kind of being an omelet but broken up in pieces. Doesn't make sense, I know, but it's what I do. And oh, shoulders are sore. there I go again, guys, yawning on you. And so that it also could be why I'm feeling really draggy today. No, way too big for what I'm looking for, something small but medium. And believe it or not, I've spent a lot of time in the pool. I didn't go hardly use the pool this summer. Well, we haven't had really summer for the pool. But the stairs for the pool outside, my friend has that I kind of like. How much does that clash with that? I'm liking something like that. There, that's what I'll do. So last night at 4:15 I went upstairs and I jumped in the pool, and I was in the pool there for about 30 minutes, and then I got out, started dinner because it's so hot, and when I cook I was making sausages, rice, and broccoli. Well, it's all the stove, so then I get all hot. So I thought, okay, go cool off in the pool and then cook. And then after we were sitting out, I didn't change out of my bathing suit. I dried for a few minutes sitting out on the deck. And then I went in and cooked. And then I didn't change out of my bathing suit. And after dinner, I went and jumped back in the pool for, I would say I was in there for 30 or 40 minutes. And then came in. And then came downstairs and did some fussy cutting. Well, I, of course, got out of my wet bathing suit. And then I had to make Jacob's lunch for school. I do those things as to help my friend, and I do quiet time with him, but it's time he likes with me. It's Tia and Jacob's time. And he actually watches YouTube, and from a little boy, he's always liked YouTube, and I was the only one that really let him watch it. And of course, it's changed as he's growing from different things, as you know. But he calls it Tia's Auto. Tia is what he calls me, Tia. And Auto because originally when he was a little boy, he watched everything car. And Auto, well, most of you know, but Auto is also French for car. So, and he is a bilingual child. His first is French. Technically, he prefers to speak more English. See, now this is where that is kind of bothering me, because I'm still seeing a bit of that bump. So I'm just going to see what I can do. And I'm going to glue that better. Now you could put some lace on this too and take it a step further. If you want it less of the say that, I'm not going to do it because I'm kind of said I wanted to leave some book page showing. Of course, my washi tape. You could take a piece of washi tape, put it there. The same here. You could tuck a little washi tape down in the corner if you wanted to add more color, type thing. But I like it like this. But I keep feeling like the bottom is very thin, but because I didn't put much there. So now I'm almost thinking I should maybe put some washi tape. Up here it feels more sturdy because I have that. Or what I could do, oh, no, no, no. I had it earlier. I need paper washies in different sizes. I have some I made, but I put it somewhere. I could also do that if I wanted, but I don't think I want to take up that much space. So I have a really pretty washi I'm thinking I could use there. I don't want a lot, but I just want to make that bottom a little sturdier. So if I don't want to lose it there, maybe I should put this on the front then I don't lose the writing, but I create a little bit more sturdiness. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of taking away from the bit of writing space I have there, I'm just going to take it off. And that will just give just a little bit more to that side. There we go. And so we created a journal card using a book page. And that's nice, especially with those book pages that have just the writing, like, or you get ones like this. So you collage the whole back and you can just leave that as the writing spot. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. I don't know where I put that one. Oh, the one that's in here. I think it's in here. I think it was this one. No. Okay, I'm losing my mind. I don't know, guys. I have one. I don't know where. Oh, yeah, it is this one. This had writing on one side. So what you can do, if you want it all, you could put pattern here if you want to add pattern. But what you do is when you've folded, depending on what side you're going to have the pull, you can cover it. I just took paper and made more writing. And I left, it had a bit of book page there. When that didn't bother me, and so I just did an image so that it looked pretty. So there's different ways you can use your book pages. And there you go, a journal card. Ready to be tucked into a spot using a book page. Now, if you don't have digitals, you can use your scrapbooking paper or your whatever you use, magazine cutouts, whatever you use to make yours. There you go. I really like how this turned out. So that's done. Let's grab this one. And again, you know, like if it's too big for you, you could cut off. Like I could cut that off here and make it smaller if you want it to. But I don't mind bigger journal cards. Sometimes what I'll do is sometimes on average my journals are all about the same length. So on average I need to trim that down a bit. Because all my journals on average are about the same. So yes, it needs to be trimmed a little. Because a lot of times inside you're not going to get the pockets big enough, wide enough. And especially in this one. But again, it can be, see, it's a little too big. So you have to think about what size journals on average you make. So for me, it's a little too wide. So that's where I have to come in and trim it up. Now, especially this, if you use smaller pages, that's fine. But I want, if you want a long, sometimes I want bigger ones. So in this case, I need to shorten the sides up so it's narrow. And again, if you don't want it that big, just take off some from the bottom. There we go again, trying to make, I tried my best to make it as straight as possible. It is a junk journal. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. So there we go. Let's see. I don't think any of these are long enough because I wanted to do the flip over to show you. So what do we have in here that we can do a flip over with? I'm just looking at my papers here. I'm looking for, I know I have a particular paper in here. I remember putting it in here. I use this one, and this is from the same family of digitals I just bought, and it's beautiful. I can't wait to make things with it. And I can't think of the name. It's a new creator, a new person, digital person I found. put my washi tape back over there. Oh, my fan is blowing my book pages, so I need to move those. But that did help. Just turning it on a little bit did help me a little. Because I was... You know, it's hard because we're in the middle of the heat wave. And I know even in the States, parts of you guys are feeling it. And I know places that, you know, your heat is nothing compared to our heat. But for Canada... we have, I know parts of states too. I don't know every state well enough. There's dry heat and humidity, and we're bad with the humidity here. Our humidity, like I think today it's 76, 79, and then with add the humidity in, it goes up to like 80 something. So today's a little bit lower than yesterday and the day before. It's supposed to be thunderstorming all day today, but nothing has happened. Oh, what I'm sad about. And this isn't long enough this way. Well, it technically is. Because what I'm saying, if I rip here, I'm not going to get this. Sometimes I've done this before, okay, so I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to fold a little here because I want more of the, but then the medallion's going to be too high, and I don't want to lose that, so that won't work. So sometimes the paper you have, you think you want it there, and it won't work. So... Oh, I'm really upset. I'm really upset. I want to save that because I think I want to use this on the paper. Let's see. Is this... Not going to see much of the book page if I turn this into a pocket, but it's still okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind this. Okay. So I'm going to take my glue. Oh, that fan feels so good, guys. I'm sorry. It really does. That was a quick eyeball of the glue there. That was a really bad laying that out. Now I could take that, and I think I'm going to move it up a bit, up as far as I can. So I can create a bit of a tab. Like that. So I'm just going to put glue. Whoop. I don't know. Okay. You can make the tab as big or little as you want it. I kind of like having it like this. I really like this idea of doing the tab like this. And like you can take a corner rounder if you have it, but it becomes a little awkward. I should have cordon rounded that before I put it in there. Because I kind of want, so I'm trying to do something here. I want that corner round as well. I don't think I can get, oh I can. I can. There. And then stinking. I should check the time. I'm sitting here. Oh, we only got 5 minutes left. Oop. And a piece of paper fell on the floor. So you see how I'm doing this one really quickly. So again, we've done a pocket, and it's a journal card. Now if this sits high, the thing is you could put, I don't have any, you could put a nice lace if you had a on the top of it to add to it. But what I was thinking, I wouldn't do the hearts that way, but it's the only thing on my desk. If this sat high in the, you could get a nice ruffled lace, and just say it is a long, let me see if I can find a pocket that's a high pocket. Let's just say we're putting it, I'll take these out, in this pocket. It's a little, right? It's not sturdy enough because I haven't done the back yet. And this pocket is a really narrow, no, that's not going to work because that pocket is, so I have to stick those back in there. Let's see if we can find a different pocket to play with. I don't have a lot of pockets in this because I did it more for writing. Yeah, I don't even have. But let's just say this one for example. If this was a high pocket, before I say bye, I might cut off before I get a chance to say bye. Let's just say it's sitting like that. If you put a nice ruffle to the top, you would have the ruffle sitting at the top of the journal, which would add to the top of it if you want it to. And that is something that you can consider when it's longer. Put a nice ruffle on the, if you have a fabric ruffle would be beautiful just on the top of that, sticking out from the top. I don't have any handy, or I would show you, and with the time about to tick off. So there you go, and I still have to cover the back with something. I'll probably just cover it with regular, you can use tea dye, coffee dye. A lot of times I print out paper, but you could even collage two different papers on here if you wanted to play around with scraps of leftover paper. You could lay one here and then put this on a triangle. You know, if you want to use up your scraps a little, you could do that as well. So play around, see what you can make. Those that are in Junk Journal Craft and Chat, when you watch this, see how many you can make. Grab some book pages, grab different things you would decorate with, and see what you come up with. You can do some of my ideas, see if you can figure out something different than I did. Junk Journal people, show me it in our challenge event. All right, everyone. So those that don't belong to Junk Journal Craft and Chat, I'll put the link below, and you can come join us there. We're going to be having a weekly challenge. As well, you can shop at Purple Heart Creations. And please subscribe, comment, and like to help me a lot. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon.